Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a new type of video. This is just me talking to you all. I woke up this morning and I just wanted to make a video going over a few things, talking about the mice in my collection, the pads that I've tested recently, and just going over, what pad I main, and then just a few things that I've noticed in the Apex community, things that I think people can improve on and stop doing to increase their consistency in game. Let's get into it. So I did do a lot of spring cleaning and I've narrowed my collection down to what you see on the desk. Just to go over it, I have the Vaxi NPO1, Ninjutso Katana Superlight, Viper V2, 303 Shroud Edition, Pulsar Mini and regular size, G-Pro Superlight, Orochi V2, and the Hottie S Wireless. As far as my main mice right now, I think I play the best right now currently on the Ninjutso Katana Superlight. The Katana Superlight is close enough in size and hand feel to the NPO1 that I am able to, when I want a little bit of a refresher, if I'm feeling a little bit bored, I can swap to the NPO1, get enough variation in the size and shape to feel quite a bit different, and then swap back to the Katana Superlight without feeling inconsistent. As far as the small mice, I think I like the Hottie S, Pulsar Mini, Orochi V2 the most. I believe right now I'm playing the best out of the three on the Pulsar Mini and the most consistent on the Pulsar Mini over the Hottie as well as the Orochi V2, and that kind of takes those out of the equation. The Pulsar Mini I'm also playing better than the Pulsar main size, so that takes the main size out of the equation for me. And then that leaves me with the G-Pro Superlight that I think is always a good mouse. It's kind of a vanilla bland shape and size to always go back to kind of get a refresher. And the 303 Shroud Edition kind of locks me into that claw grip with my hand size. So I do like keeping that around if I ever want to specifically use that grip. I can always swap back to the 303 Shroud. But again, my mains right now are the Katana Superlight, the NPO1, different enough in shape and size to have a bit of a refresher, but close enough to remain consistent. After my early impressions video, I've put a lot of time into the Viper V2. I just don't like this mouse. I don't play well on it enough to keep this as a main. And it's not necessarily about frags. It's not necessarily about damage or plays. I can definitely pump out the damage in Apex. I can get really, really nice plays in Apex. It's just not a comfortable mouse for me, and I feel like I lose a lot of verticality, and I have to really focus and force myself to play extremely well on this mouse, which isn't necessarily something I have to do on the Katana Superlight or the NPO1 or the other mice on my desk. So I will not be keeping the V2 Pro. I think over time, the coating definitely remained nice. It wicked away moisture, but it does feel a little bit cheap, kind of like a PBT keycap is what one viewer said in the comments, and I definitely agree. So I don't like the mouse as much as everything else in my collection. I will be getting rid of the Viper V2. As far as mice coming out on the market, I am interested in the XM2. I think that could have the potential to be my main mouse, but right now I will be sticking to the Katana Superlight. I am very interested in Lethal Gaming Gear's new mouse coming out. I think it will be a nice small to medium-sized mouse that feels good even for large-handed users. And it sounds like they're using the internals to make it a very competitive mouse on the market and quite a good mouse to compete for anyone's main spot. And one of the things I would definitely like to see on the market is kind of shying away from refreshed old versions of mice. We have so many refreshments of things that we've already used for years and years, and it's just becoming a little bit bland, a little bit boring. So I do hope that some of the larger companies like Viper and Logitech start coming out with some new shapes, or at least giving us some variation between their lineup, not just the biggest mice that everybody's already been using for years in a lighter weight version. I think if Logitech kind of even changed up the G-Pro Superlight a little bit, changing the area of the hump, the size of the hump, changing the flares on the side of the mouse. There's so many people who love the G-Pro Superlight that would definitely want to try something with quite a bit of variation. I think they would still kill sales, and it would give people a nice variation out of their lineup. Same thing with the Viper Ultimate. The mouse is so flat. Really, if they had some interchangeable back shell type design to kind of give a various hump size, I think it would have definitely been a little bit more interesting, especially at $150. The pad that I'm sticking with right now is the Pro version of the Rainbow Pearl. I think it is something that just feels very addicting. It feels very good to use. The glide is nice, and it's just a great feeling on your hand, on your arm, and a really nice feeling under the mouse skates. I have the level of consistency that I'm looking for. I did lower my sense from 1.5 to 1.1 in Apex Legends, which helped out quite a bit. But the mouse pad just feels extremely good and is definitely going to be what I am sticking with for quite a while. There are so many pads on the market that are coming out that are just hybrid after hybrid after hybrid after hybrid. They are all similar in their own ways. One has a little bit more static, one has a little bit more dynamic, less static. It's just getting a little bit overwhelming with how many options there are, but there are so many good options, right? But there is not a whole lot like the Rainbow Pearl pad, and for that reason, I am definitely going to be maining the Rainbow Pearl pad right now. It's just from a texture, from a comfort perspective, and a performance perspective, what I am really enjoying right now. Okay, guys, in this portion of the video, I just want to talk and go over a few tips for being more consistent or playing a little bit more consistently throughout a full ranked season, a full ranked act of Valorant or Apex. And all of this transitions from my experience with professional CS 1.3 to 1.6, things that I used to do that would inhibit my gameplay, things that I think a lot of people do now that are inhibiting their gameplay. And I just want to start with the obvious. If you start a ranked season of Apex, you start a ranked act of Valorant, try to pick one mouse in your collection. A lot of us have way too many mice, and we swap between one mouse, another mouse, another mouse, another mouse, between game to game to game. And that is going to absolutely destroy your consistency. At the beginning of a ranked season, I try to pick one mouse that I want to use throughout the duration of the season. I try to stick to that mouse as much as possible. I still, when I get bored, kind of swap to other mice, but usually for ranked matches when I'm trying to be very, very serious, I only use one mouse. That is not something that you should think to yourself, oh, I'm playing bad on this mouse today, let me try something else. I'm playing bad on that mouse today, let me try something else. It's not the mouse, it's you. You're swapping too much, you're swapping too frequently. You need to stay on something, stick to it, and stop putting it in your head that it's the product and not yourself. It is all about consistency, all about muscle memory, and you're not going to get or develop increased muscle memory or increased abilities on a particular shape, a particular size, if you're continuously changing between one and another. The next thing I want to talk about is sensitivity. I see this a ton throughout my time playing Apex, and people will literally log on and change their sensitivity 5 times, 10 times throughout a gaming session, from one public match to another public match, from one ranked game to another ranked game. Literally during a ranked game, I've had people change their sensitivities. It's not your sensitivity, it's you. You're changing your sensitivity too much, and you're never going to develop better consistency on a particular mouse, a particular size, if you're continuously changing your sensitivity. Again, it's not your sensitivity, it's not the mouse. A lot of the time, it's you if you're finding yourself in that volatile shift of just constantly changing your mouse, your sensitivity, your mouse pad. Back in CS 1.3 to 1.6, there was a large duration of time where I would literally be pro scrimming against some of the best teams in North America, and I would be frying. And then the minute before the match, I would say, you know what, the IntelliMouse 3.0 feels a little bit better than the MX518. Let me use that for this match, and let me go back to the Funk Pad instead of my Super Mat for this match. And then I would wonder why I would be not performing or not top fragging for my team, and it's all about consistency. My teammates wouldn't be changing their mouse, changing their pad before a game. I think that is something that is what I would do when I was a little bit more immature back in the day, and that's not something you want to do. You should never be changing your mouse, your pad, your sensitivity before a ranked match, before a tournament, before wanting to climb in whatever it is you're doing. It will absolutely destroy you. The next thing I want to talk about is comms. Back in CS 1.3 to 1.6, I only used Ventrilo, and all of our teammates were forced to use push-to-talk. If you are on Discord and you are trying to climb through a ranked season and you're wondering why you're dying because you can't hear things sometimes, it's not Apex audio. I mean, sometimes it is. But you're talking. You're not going to hear footsteps rolling up on you if your teammate is yelling about someone on a controller. You're not going to hear teams or shots or things that would alert you to people coming in on you if you are talking instead of paying attention to the game. So pay attention to the game if you want to be focused, if you want to be as pristine as you can be. As far as perceiving things through your audio, please have your teammates put on push to talk on Discord. When you see a lot of these pros on stream, a lot of them are on push to talk. Obviously, they don't want the other players listening to them blab to their viewers. And it is extremely helpful in game in hearing things that are happening around you and avoiding those times where you're dying on teams that I magically didn't hear them while I was talking to my two teammates. So comms are very helpful, and again, consistency is key. And as far as upcoming reviews, I do have Antlion Audio's Mod Mic Wireless. I do want to give you guys a little video on this because I do think it's one of the best mic solutions for audiophile grade headphones that don't have built-in mics. Very, very easy solution. The microphone sounds absolutely phenomenal. Good battery life and extremely easy to use. I've used this for a number of years. You guys have probably seen this in a few of my Quest for the Best competitive audio videos. And I do have a video coming of the Unique Melody Mest IEMs. These are quite expensive. I did get these used from Music Tech, which made it a little bit better as far as affordability. But extremely good for entertainment, music listening, as well as competitive gaming. I have had a phenomenal experience with these in Apex so far, and they just kind of blow my mind away when it comes to music. It's kind of just a perfect balance of what I look for in a music listening experience. For mice, I have the Hottie M on the way. I will definitely try to get the HSK Plus. Anything else that comes out in the interim, I will try to get as well to review for you guys. I have a few keyboard videos coming, a few keycap type related things. But other than that, that is it right now. I do have budget IEMs coming as well, but they've been stuck in shipping. But I will promise to get you guys a budget IEM video for competitive audio purposes. So that is it for this video, guys. There was quite a lot of information to kind of go over. I don't really have a lot of time to discuss with you guys why I choose certain mice over the others to keep in my collection. But of course, if you guys would like to see some more information into what goes into my process, I can certainly make a part 2 to this video, as well as when it comes down to pads. But thanks guys for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, and I'll catch you guys in the next review. Peace.